Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Let's have a look at the newest boss in the Chamber of Arms, Nunki, in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. And then I resisted the urge to use my usual damage dealers like Roberta or Leela. I instead decided to focus on magic users, and I've suddenly gotten a few nice magic users, so it was fun to try them out here. But anyway, this is my team here. My physical tank for the first half of the fight is going to be Mercenary Ramza. Just lots of defense and HP, and then a lot of elemental resist as well. Next is Lid. She'll be my breaker throughout the whole fight. Next is Ayaka. She will be my healer throughout the fight. I think it's pretty funny that she's wearing the rider's armor, but it gives her the wind resistance, so it's nice for that. And then Zargabath, he'll be here to raise my elemental resistance in the first half, and then in the second half he'll be like a more general buffer. And then Sakura, she is here for lightning damage. Next up is Rydia. She is here for wind and earth damage. Next is Bosch. He will be my magic tank for the second half of the battle. Okay, next is Marquis de Leon. He will be my provoke tank for the second half of the battle. And finally is Emperor. He is here for ice damage. For the first half of the battle. I think second phase. Sorry, and finally is Veritas of the Light. She will be my main damage dealer for the second half of the battle. And then the boss gets a magic kind of defense buff. So we're going to use Light Veritas because the boss is weak to light at that time. And the attacks that Light Veritas does are hybrid. So they'll go through the defenses there. Okay, let's head into the fight. And then as much as possible, I've given everybody at least 40% elemental resistance to the elements that they will face. Depending on who they are, it will be different elements. But with Ramza, let's guard. With Zargabath, we will put up the elemental resistance. This is very important because I don't have a magic tank for the first half of this fight. Lid will break. We can use any break on the boss, but we'll focus on attack and magic for now. And then Sakura will use her lightning attack. Alright, and then with Ayaka we'll put some re-raise on some more important guys. Okay, so this is the first phase until down to 90%. Water attacks will come out, so like Sakura, for example, she has some water resistance with her equipment. Okay, almost no damage there. Alright, Ramza will guard. Zargabath has his dual cast available because he cast the Prismatic Barrier before. We're going to use Arcadian Crest. That's been one of my favorite skills lately. It's only a single target effect, but it removes debuffs and then puts another buff on top of it. So I like to use it for my tanks or my damage dealers. It's very useful. And then Sakura, she will do her lightning attack again. And then that will be the end of phase 1. Okay, I guess Nunki turns to another page in his book, and now he becomes fire. So he'll hit us with fire attacks, and then he'll become weak to ice. And then the first 4 phases, they each have different elements. I can keep the same team in the whole time. I just change out that 5th character, the magic user, to get different damage. So I'm bringing in Emperor for his Blizzaja, his ice damage. He's not max level. I don't have his Trustmaster yet, but that doesn't matter because it doesn't affect how good his Blizzaja is, so I can still use him here. Alright, I'm going to cast Bastion, just basically for Emperor's sake. He just came in, so he doesn't have any elemental resistance. And then just to further improve the survivability of Emperor, we'll use Lid's Limit Break. Okay. And then just like Sakura with her lightning attack, Emperor's Blizzaja, it will get stronger the more you use it, so next turn should do more damage. I see some other teams where they use a magic tank in the first half. I didn't do that just because I had enough equipment to kind of spread around to my guys to make sure that they had enough elemental resistance for every phase. And so like Emperor here, he only appears for this one phase, so he only needs fire resistance. And then this is a strategy that I've been using a little bit lately, where I'm using a Zargobath's, buff everyone element resistance thing instead of using a magic tank. And that works out fine, or it has been. Okay, once again with the Blizzaja. Alright, and then that's the end of phase 2, and then the boss will move away from fire. Okay, boss changes over to Earth, so we'll bring in Rydia so she can use her Tornado to get that wind damage in. Rydia is still a 6-star, so she's not going to do as much damage as her future 7-star form. So the phase 3 and 4, they will take some more time. But yeah, you can just know that my kind of other support characters are doing the same thing. And then Rydia's going to keep using Tornado over and over. And then in phase 4, she'll keep using Quake over and over until we get down to 59%. And then, yeah, we'll skip ahead to that here. Okay, turn 13. This should be the last turn before we change the boss over again. So I'm going to use Arcadian Crest again on Rydia. We'll get rid of her status debuffs and then give her a buff to her other stats. Here comes the Quake. Let's see if we can do that 3% damage. Perfect, okay. Alright, here, this was maybe the most dangerous time of the fight. Stop was cast on Mercenary Ramsay, so he couldn't cover for everybody. But thankfully the hits were not so bad, so we were able to take it. So for phase 5, the boss will pick up different weaknesses, elemental weaknesses. I decided on lightning, so we'll bring Sakura back in. Then the boss has a self buff, so I will want to dispel that. Alright, let's remove the stop from Ramza. He still has the guard, so we'll just defend with him. Then with Zargobath, we'll dispel the boss. Lid will reapply the attack and magic break. And finally, Sakura will do the lightning damage. We don't have to imperil the boss's lightning resistance any further, because it's already like minus 1,000, so... Alright, so just one attack from Sakura there, and then we'll move on to the second half of the fight. So here we are in the second half. We're going to bring in my team for the second half. Again, Marquis de Leon to provoke the physical attacks, Bosch to cover the magic attacks, and then Light Veritas to do damage. Alright, so we'll apply those covers there. Marquis de Leon, I have him equipped so that he has 100% passive provoke, so he can just defend or, you know, break or whatever. Let's use Zargabath's limit break. That'll just give us overall buffs and then defense. We don't need to worry about elements anymore, so yeah, just general buffs will be fine. And then Veritas of the Light on the first turn, she has a Saint Buster available to her if you upgrade her, so we'll go ahead and use that. Whoa, that's crazy damage there. Alright, then we'll put re-raise on my tanks. Okay, no problem. I did not give Leo paralysis resistance, but it doesn't matter for him because he's got 100% provoke. Even if he's paralyzed or berserked or charmed, he'll still do the provoking, so that's why he's so awesome. I'm going to bring in Ramza for one reason. We're just going to entrust his limit break gauge to Veritas of the Light, so that Veritas of the Light can hopefully take down the boss with her limit break, and then get that mission. Saint Buster is no longer available, so we use a Divine Shot. That's plenty good. And then Ayaka will just redistribute the re-raise again. Although I haven't really needed it this fight. Okay, that is fine. So this turn we should be able to push the boss to 29% and then enter the final phase. Okay, I don't need Ramza anymore. I want to refresh the break with Lid, because we're going to cross that threshold soon, so let's bring her back in. With Zargabath, let's use Arcadia's Might. That will help out my guys that just came in, and then enable his dual cast next turn. Okay, and then we go on to the next phase. Okay, good job, tanks. This is kind of cool. It's like an animation on the boss as it is waiting for you. I don't know if I've ever seen that for another boss, so that's pretty cool. Alright, the boss has the self-buffs again, so I'll have to dispel him at some point. We'll bring Ayaka back in, so she can heal my guys. Then we'll cast Re-Raise on Leon, since it seems he's taken some big hits. And then we'll put it on Ayaka and Zargabath. And then again with Veritas of the Light, Divine Shot. And then I need to be sure that I do not take down the boss with Divine Shot. I need to take him down with the Limit Break. But I haven't used the Limit Break yet against this boss, so I don't know how much damage it does. So I'm going to try to get as close to 0 as I can, without actually hitting 0. So one more Divine Shot. Okay, that should be good enough to let us use the Limit Break next turn. Okay, we'll put Re-Raise on Veritas of the Light, because she absolutely needs to be up next turn. And then we'll Cure. But what I should have done is put Re-Raise on Bosch, since that just ran out. Okay, with Zargabath, we'll keep using Arcadian Crest. I'll put it on my 2 tanks, get rid of their debuffs, and then buff their stats. Whoa, there go both my tanks. Alright, Leo comes back, and then again, because he has 100% passive provoke, even after a re-raise, he will still have that, so he'll still be drawing the attacks. So actually, even though I didn't get the re-raise on Bosch, both of my tanks did their job there, so that's pretty great. Okay, this should be the last turn. And then with Zargabath, let's use Rejuvenate on Leo. We'll use Arcadian Crest on Veritas of the Light, give her those buffs. And then finally, with Veritas of the Light, we will use her Limit Break. Okay. So that was Nunki. That was a cool fight. It did take a lot of setup. You know, I had to pick my characters that were appropriate for every phase, and then give them the right equipment for that phase. But once I took care of all that, then the fight was pretty doable. I am a fan of tanks, so it was cool to use all of my guys here. I'm looking forward to when Bosch gets his 7-star. He'll be even better then. And then Leo, he's a champ. Ramza is a champ. And then, yeah, I have gotten a lot of nice magic users lately, as I said earlier. Sakura I got last week. Light Veritas I got whenever that last batch came out. And then Emperor I got yesterday or the day before. Yeah, so it's been fun to use them lately. As for the Flame Whip, not super great, but the Dragon of Affection is really nice. It's a magic plus 40% and then some status immunities, which I always like. I like those kind of combo abilities. Alright, I think that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.